Hello, welcome back. My name is Kaylaa.brianne if you're new here, and today I'm sharing lessons that I've learned as a 24-and-a-half-year-old whose frontal lobe is almost fully developed. I'm almost there, or maybe I'm fully there because I did grow up kind of fast. I was the oldest of 4 kids and I grew up with a single mother, so I did feel the need to be not hyper independent, but just a little bit more independent at a younger age, because I didn't want to be a burden on my mother and, you know, take away attention from the younger kids when I knew I could do it for myself. So I just started a little younger than most, and I have learned a couple of things within the last how many years. I've been alive 24-and-a-half years, and that's a blessing. So I'll just share these things, kind of like big sister advice, or not even. It could be for somebody who's older than me but just hasn't lived the same life that I have. So let's get into it. The first thing has to deal with like relationships and boundaries. As you get older, it becomes more clear what you want out of a relationship and a partner, and you do establish firm boundaries after you get tired of people overstepping boundaries that you didn't put them in place verbally, but you should have, and you get to a certain point where you realize you have to, or people will just walk all over you. So I faced a couple of trials and tribulations when it comes to relationships, and you know, it was tough at times, but I am grateful for it because they taught me what I absolutely will not tolerate, and they taught me a lot of things that I do want in a partner. And I also learned to walk away from people when they're not right for me. In the past, I would have stayed with somebody who was toxic because, you know, some trauma in my past was telling me that this was attractive for some reason, and it's not attractive. Toxicity is not attractive at all. But each time I left a toxic relationship, I grew mentally stronger, and I was able to focus on making more money and improving my physical appearance and my confidence. And I love how I glow when I'm focused on myself. When you're not focused on a man and you put all of that energy and focus on yourself, you become this glowing goddess that everyone is now attracted to. When before, when you were chasing after this toxic man, running after him when he's trying to leave and do whatever he wants to do, and he wants to be chased, ill. First of all, ill. You know, actually, that's a whole nother video talking about men who want to be chased. Like, that's not what we're doing. That's not what we're doing. Let them run off and, you know, be with whoever they want to be with, because whoever is meant for you is not going to do all of that. They're going to be right there with you. I've also learned to handle rejection without getting upset. If a man doesn't want me or decides not to text me back, that is a blessing in disguise, because if I'm feeling confused about what we have going on, that just means that he is clearly not interested. Because when a man truly wants you, there will be no confusion. He will make that clear as day. If somebody has you running around in circles, camera, stop moving. They don't want you, babes. I'm sorry to break it to you, they don't want you, but there is somebody who is going to make you feel so good. So please just drop them, move on, put that energy and focus on yourself and glow up, because you're gonna try, when you glow up, you're gonna attract somebody who does you way better. Now that I've turned all of this energy inward, I cannot wait to put my daughter on game whenever I have a daughter in the future. I'm obsessed with the idea of having a daughter, like a little me that I can dress up and whatnot. But some of this stuff is stuff that I wish my father would have put me on to, because like, he's a man and he would know what games men play. But I had to learn it the hard way, and that's fine, because now it's instilled in me and I will pass it down to other people who don't have maybe a father telling them about men's games, or like just any guidance when it comes to men. As far as boundaries, like, men are not the only people that you have to make boundaries clear to. It's also with family and friends, and when family and friends don't respect your boundaries, you know, if they really matter to you that much, like you want them in your life, it's okay to take time away, take a step back, and then when you come back together, if they are still on the same timing, then you just have to let them go. If someone doesn't fit into the, you know, the life of the person that you're becoming, then that's okay, babes. Like, you're gonna be okay either way, as long as you have God in your life. You don't really need these extras that don't want to respect you. Please baby, go on and disrespect somebody else, because it is not going to be me. It's okay to outgrow people. It's for the best, and you'll see that in the future. Don't worry about it now. It might hurt now, but you know things hurt. it's gonna be okay. So the next thing is, you might notice a shift in how you approach your career and ambitions. Growing up, I was very ambitious and independent because I felt that I would have to support myself so that I wouldn't be an extra burden on my mother. And initially I aspired to be a doctor, and then I was like, okay, schooling is kind of long for that. Let me do 2 less years and become a physician assistant. And then I went to college for biology, and I ended up leaving there, and I came back to work. I was making money, but I wasn't saving it. And then I was like, okay, what am I gonna do next? Because I need to make a career, you know, I need to have a career. I was like, okay, I'm passionate about skincare. So then I went to esthetician school, and I got my esthetician's license. And then I started working in hospitality. I somehow fell into hospitality. So while I remain passionate about skincare still, because you know, I love a healthy, glowing looking skin. Skin tells a lot about a person, and if I can help somebody out with that, I'd be more than glad to. But I find that like my true drive comes from helping others in various ways, whether that is like, you know, about taking care of their body, self-care, personal development, because you cannot pour from an empty cup. And a lot of people don't realize that. A lot of people are going out of the way to help people before they've even helped themselves, and that is not going to work out in the long run. You have to cater to yourself first. This is why you want to get things in order before you bring life into this world, because how can you, I mean, I know people do it, but why struggle extra when you can put in work into yourself before you bring life into this world? And if it's already done, then you just have to find time, because you're going to burn out eventually if you do not prioritize self-care in some way, like, you know, whether that's worrying about what you eat, working out, just like catering to yourself, maintaining yourself. So that, I mean, I cannot stress this enough. I get on my mom about this all the time, because she was always a giver. Like, she was always a giver. She took care of her kids well. I mean, obviously I'm a product, but I can't wait to see her live a soft life. The next thing is, I've become more resilient, and I'm able to handle setbacks without becoming so overwhelmed. When someone shows me that they no longer want to be in my life, I'm not having a whole saga. I'm not breaking down crying, begging somebody to stay. If you want to get going, get on. It doesn't have anything to do, that doesn't have anything to do with me, because if I showed up as the best person that I can be right now and you do not value that, then somebody will. So you can go ahead and go. Yeah, it's just not the end of the world when somebody's leaving. It's often a blessing. Like, rejection is redirection, right? And when someone says no, it often means that there is a reason behind it and something better is on the way. A good example of this is when I was 22 years old and apartment shopping, right? I was so sure that I was going to move to Jersey City. So I had found a nice apartment over there. It was they had 2 different size studios. I had shopped around a bit, and I chose the larger one, and she said that she would give it to me for a certain price. And when she sent over the papers and the email, the amount was larger, and I called her and I said, this is not what we agreed on. And because I'm young and I went by myself, she was like, oh yeah, my boss said that I could only give you this price, but if you sign the lease, you can be in it ASAP, in the apartment ASAP. And the apartment that I'm in right now, I had blew off the leasing agent because I was like, I don't want to move to the Bronx. I live in the Bronx, but I was like, I don't want to move to the Bronx because, like, you know, we hear so many bad things about the Bronx. But my best friend, my best friend Sophia, she was like, no, actually there are some nice areas in the Bronx. And I was like, oh really? So maybe I should go give this place a try. And the guy answered my text the second time around, and I entered that front door right there. I walked in and I fell in love immediately because this space was larger than the one in Jersey, so much closet space, and the price was lower, and I wouldn't have to pay to commute from Jersey to the city. I was already in the city, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is like sent from God. God literally saved this apartment for me when I was being all indecisive and like so sure I wanted to move to Jersey. No, babe, he said, no, your new home is in the Bronx. And I'm here to this day, and I love this apartment so much. Like, I will always remember my first apartment, but it literally just shows that when someone is playing with you, or when the answer is no, or you're not able to do something and you feel like, oh my goodness, like I was so excited about that, I was looking forward to that so much. No, babes. If God doesn't let it happen smoothly, then it's not for you. Something better is coming, and that's exactly what happened to me, and I'm so thankful to this day. I've also learned to regulate my emotions. I used to be so passive aggressive, and I'm not a confrontational person. People like to provoke me or like test me to get a rise out of me because I'm quiet, I'm poised, and you know, I don't like to get into it with the girls. And I refuse to waste my energy on anybody who has issues internally and are trying to take it out on me. When somebody is a negative Nancy, that means they have some internal issues and they're trying to take it out on the people around them and make them feel bad, and you know, provoke. You're trying to get them to be angry just like them because misery loves company. No, babes, I'm a positive Sally and I don't get down like that, and I just don't take things personally anymore, so there's no reason to react. If you read the 4 agreements, you would know that. And the last thing is, I started prioritizing my health, and like whether that comes to skin health, physical health, mental health. When I was younger, I used to have a bad sweet tooth. Actually, I still kind of have a sweet tooth, but when it's starting up, instead of having 5 cookies, I'll have 1 cookie just to kick the craving, or just, you know, eat something filling before that and then have something sweet, so I'm not eating like 10 cookies at one time and gaining weight. I do give myself a bit of leeway during my menstrual, because if a cookie or multiple cookies and some chocolate is gonna make me feel better, then so be it, because as a working lady, I already go through a lot, so you're not gonna tell me I can't have a piece of cookie or a cake. Like, I'll go to the gym and run this off. You also have to realize what makes your body inflamed or what your body won't tolerate. I can't tolerate dairy anymore. I used to love ice cream. I used to love Haagen-Dazs, but now I have to go for the dairy-free ice cream, which is still good. I know Van Leeuwen has dairy-free ice cream. Ben & Jerry's now has really good dairy-free options, but that makes me so bloated and inflamed, and I want to look like a you know, I want to be a skinny queen, so I cannot have that anymore. But I would recommend keeping a food diary just to see what your body reacts to and in what way, and what makes you feel good, what makes you feel bloated and gassy and everything like that, so that you can know what to stay away from. And as for skin, I was lucky enough not to go through a really bad acne phase when I was younger, but I did go through hormonal breakouts. I used to have breakouts because of poor eating habits, when, you know, I would be eating cosmic brownies and candy and whatnot, and sugar cereal and pancakes and stuff like that. But your skin health is influenced by many factors, whether that's external factors, you know, your exercise, diet, external elements, and your hygiene. And your skincare routine does not have to be complicated. My daily skincare routine is like 4 steps. I do my wash, I do my toner, moisturize, and sunscreen, but then I have like 2 days out of the week where I'll do a little extra exfoliation and maybe a mask, depending on, you know, what my skin needs. Just listen to your skin and cater to it that way. But if you're putting the right things in your body, your skin is going to glow from within, and on the outside you just want to make sure that you're really clean and not using any stripping washes or toners, or, you know, anything too strong, because your skin is delicate. And I know a lot of darker people, or, you know, people with melanin, think that because their skin is dark, it is not as sensitive as a person with a lighter skin color. That is not true. You need to treat your beautiful skin delicately. Don't use any harsh agents on your skin. I'm gonna make a facial video one day, but yeah, I don't want you guys wearing, you know, tearing at your beautiful, delicate skin. Okay, so that's all I have to share for this video. I hope you enjoy this, and I hope you take away something from this. I have just been coming up with videos off the top of my head, but if there's something specific that you want to see, some advice that you need, comment down below. Like this video, share this video with a little sister, or with anybody who is trying to figure life out and has been through similar situations as me. Ask me any questions that you want to know, and I'll see you guys in the next video. I love you much. Have a beautiful, blessed week. I'll see you guys later. I did post a video on my story today with like wine in this glass. It's filled with water now. I work the overnight shift, so when I come home in the morning, it's technically my night, and if I want to have a glass of wine to wind down with my baked potato, then so be it. Like, and I like to drink everything out of a wine glass because it makes me feel more, did I use that correctly? It makes me feel fancy and cutesy and classy and like clink.